Thank you, everyone, for coming on such a hot night. And I think it really is just a testament to Kenny and all he's done over the years that you're all here this evening. So, as many of you might have known, we started working on this actually in May. And thanks to Beth Rosa and Debbie Burke, who actually helped me out and pulled it all together. Actually, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements, just sort of introduce some of the elected officials. We have our state representative, Paul Donato. State Representative Steve Altrino. And we have from the school committee running for councilor at large, Adam Waldi. And you'll hear from the mayor later, so he'll do his own introductions. But after a few delays earlier this summer, we finally got a chance to gather and honor a gentleman who has done so much for the city. As it turns out, I think it's pretty fitting that we're actually doing it tonight at the championship game of the Neighborhood Basketball League, because we do have a true champion in Kenny Mazonson.
Right, Kenny.
Later on we'll be able to celebrate the victors of the game, but Kenny every single day comes up and champions youth, champions Malden, and has done that for more than 45 years with his dedication to Little League and Babe Ruth. And then, can you believe it, 30 years ago, he decided that he really needed to see some neighborhood basketball. He got some information from people, and he stepped it up. And then again, he didn't stop and rest on his laurels of the things he's done in the past. But a few years ago, he added on the Summer Jam, and we're really so pleased that he decided to call Green Street Park his home for Summer Jam. But we all know that Kenny's commitment is not just really to the sport. If you've ever had a conversation with Kenny, you know that he remembers just about everybody, or maybe every single player and coach and situation. And he knows, like I said, each one of the players, but he just doesn't know them from the game. He actually knows them as the people, their stories. He celebrates all of their accomplishments on and off the field or the court. And he's just so proud of all the people that have come up through the game. And he wouldn't remember all of those people's stories if it was just about the sport and just about the game. It's about the person and the people that he works with. And I think that's a big difference. So tonight we celebrate Kenny the person, and to ensure that everybody knows of his commitment to the youth, to the city, everyone that comes into this to play will know that Kenny is there for them too. But we honestly would not be able to do this tonight without another man who works incredibly hard and is a champion of the city, and that's our mayor, Gary Christensen. It was Mayor Christensen that called me in like maybe April or whatever and said, I have an idea. What do you think? I think it's a good idea, Mayor. So actually we're going to hear a few words from the mayor, and then we'll do the unveiling.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name's Gary Christensen, Mayor of the City of Malden, and let me just say how appreciative I am that you've all come tonight to honor who I think is one of our most outstanding citizens here in the City of Malden. That it is said that 100 years from now, people will look back not at what kind of car we drove, what kind of house we owned, what we had in the bank account, but it's going to be about what kind of difference did we make in the world for our children. And I'm here to tell you tonight that one person that they are going to read about is Ken Mazonson. From his 45 years in youth sports to his 30th year here in the Malden Neighborhood Basketball League, he has done everything that we could ever hope for our community. And to let you know personally what it has meant for me, if it was not for Ken, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity to get to know a lot of the players gathered behind us tonight. Kevin, Jason, DeAndre, and the list goes on. And that's the one thing that I thought about coming over here tonight, is that, we always try to figure out ways to help the youth get connected with their city leaders. And fortunately for us, Ken has been able to do that right here in the city of Malden. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to end by how I began, which is really say on behalf of Representative Donato, Representative Altrino, school committee member Weldi, and the entire Malden community, how grateful we are to you, Ken, for all that you have done for us, and we look forward to this unveiling, for which you rightly deserve.
Apparently it doesn't.
I'll try to be brief as well. I need to thank a lot of people that are here. To begin with, Mayor Christensen and Councilor Crow for putting forth the idea of even considering to name a park after a private citizen. I've never been involved in politics, never been on the school committee. It's kind of unheard of. When they announced it at the Basketball League banquet, my reaction was, I now know that I'm officially old because they only name buildings and parks after old people or dead people. So, having said that, I truly honored, humbled. When I got involved in basketball, it was 1981. That person that got me involved is here. I'd like to call him out. Where's Ken Petralia? Right here. Ken coached in the old PCAA, Protestant Church Athletic Association, which more commonly was known as the Church League and today is known as the Al Lock League. He asked me if I wanted to come down and give him a hand coaching. We ended up having 2 teams from that particular church. And that is honestly how my introduction to coaching basketball and enjoying the game even more than just a spectator and being a Celtics fan. After that, they did away with the senior division, and there were some kids that wanted to sign up for the junior division of the Church League, and they were too old, 2 Marks. I love them, but I want to kill them. Mark Ruel and Mark Keenan. They're the ones that actually initiated me saying, so do you think you get 40 of your friends together and maybe we'll start up a senior program? Little did I know that 30 years later, I'd still be running this program, and one of them is in charge of a big department at Foxwoods, and the other one is a school teacher up at Malden High. Had nothing to do with the program anymore. But needless to say, there was a need for the program. I was very happy to get it started, get it up and running. The coaches that have gone through that program, they give hundreds of hours of their time to teach the game, to mentor the kids. I couldn't have done that program without the help of all of those people, and forever grateful to them. There are some guys that have been coaching in that program all 30 years, 29 years, 27 years, a lot of dedicated coaches in that program. It's duly noted. I like I said, could not do it without them. And the other person that I want to single out was back in 1994, I was approached by a gentleman who was then the varsity coach for Malden High School basketball. And he came to me because they were doing away with the freshman basketball programs in the city of Malden because of Proposition 2.5. And he said, would you be interested in doing the freshman team? He says, I don't know that I'll have any money because they're doing away with the freshman program. We'll set up a concession stand. Maybe we can raise a few bucks that way. And I stopped him right there. I said, Bill, if you need any help, I'll be glad to help you out. And honestly, being involved in the high school athletic program and getting to know those kids and teaching the sport that I love was truly wonderful, and I'm very grateful to have Bill Greeley here. Thank you, Bill. I also need to thank my family. I know my sister and brother-in-law, Linda and Alan Zolka, here. My niece Jody is here. I don't know if the Cohen family has made it yet or not. The Cohens are here. Barry's here with Ari and Shai. There have been a lot of family functions that I've either had to leave early from or show up late at because of basketball and/or baseball, and they have been obviously very understanding of my involvement in these programs. And I won't say lastly, because certainly it's not lastly. There's a lot of faces out here of people that have come across my path because of my involvement in sports, whether it be through Little League, Babe Ruth, American Legion, Malden Neighborhood Basketball League, Al Locke Basketball League. There are former players here, one who's still a player of mine on the Dolphins, two who are former current players of the Dolphins, one who a couple who just graduated. There's even a guy that played for me back in the late 1970s that I see here to come down and share this time and honor for me. And I can't tell you how important that is to me. There are parents of players that I've coached who I've become so close with that they're my best friends. I don't know how many baseball or basketball coaches can tell you that they've been invited to about 10 of their former players' weddings. And I can honestly say that that's the case. I want to conclude with, I'm going to steal a line from an unknown person who once said that when you look at a headstone and you see the person's birth date and you see the person's death date, there's a little dash in the middle of it. And the dash is the most important part of that person's life. It's what you did during the time that you were born and what you did when you died. That is what's meaningful and what counts. I hope that this is emblematic of some of the hours and time that I have contributed, donated, spent to the city of Malden to make that dash worthwhile. I know that my parents, Mac and Honey Mazonson, would be very, very proud. They were very, very community-minded and taught their children well to follow in those footsteps. So I thank you all. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but I do appreciate everybody showing up.